Again, my name's Bob Daniels. Welcome to our Sustainability Fair. I'm also the Environmental Safety Officer on campus here. So the Environmental Safety Office handles a lot of the sustainability efforts that you'll see going on campus. If not directly through me, a lot of stuff is coordinated through me. The other things I get into, and you'll see the sustainability initiative, there's a couple of driving documents, or in this top case, legislation that is mandated by the state that says, hey, you guys got to try and save some energy and implement green initiatives wherever you can. And most of the time, fortunately, it actually yields in some cost reductions as well. And in these tight budget times, that's always a welcome thing. We are also signed on to the American College and University's President's Climate Commitment, which is, it's probably at about 600 colleges now nationwide that have voluntarily signed up for this program. And our whole goal, both individually and collectively, is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Does people know what that is? Everybody pretty much heard that term. How about sustainability? I've heard that term before. Well, at any rate, the other facet of my job is a lot of regulatory compliance too, all the stuff that needs to happen kind of behind the scenes as far as environmental permitting, reporting, compliance with both federal, state, and local initiatives, or in most cases, regulatory requirements or laws. When we start looking at opportunities to implement sustainable projects here on campus, we do go through some different criteria. That's how we kind of sort things out. And most sustainable projects here on campus will fall into these, if you want, catch-all kind of very broad-brushed phrases of renewable energy, sustainable design and construction, water conservation, waste prevention and recycling, environmentally preferable purchasing, environmental compliance. In this day and age, environmental compliance is pretty much deemed to be an everyday, that's the way you have to operate type of thing. And mercury and other persistent bioaccumulative toxins is what that three-letter acronym stands for there. And most of this is kind of been worked through. So these two on the bottom, I'm probably not going to touch on too much today. We'll probably deal with the first four items more so than anything. So, sustainable projects that we currently have going on, the Learning Resource Center, we have a bunch of solar panels up on the roof of the library building. I'll talk about each of these in more detail as we go through. We're in the process of doing building energy audits, which is a campus-wide building by building assessment of where we stand on the energy that's used. We're looking at everything from lighting to HVAC systems, air conditioning is what I mean, heating, in the science and tech building, hoods, ventilation hoods and chemistry labs, pretty much the whole gambit. Then we'll get into some, administration building, renovation, Dowden Hall expansion. These are either new construction, or in both of these cases, they involve some renovation as well, in which case we've implemented some greener technologies than were currently used in the past. Then I'll talk about water saving, bathroom fixtures, not a big deal, but we've probably got, when you start rolling in residence halls and stuff, numerous, I would say, 400 toilets, urinals, those kinds of things. And I know it's not a real glamorous thing to talk about, but nonetheless, we will. And then we get into hybrid vehicle test site, and you'll see more of these popping up on campus. They're called big belly solar collectors, and I'll show you a picture too so you can kind of see what they are and identify. And then organic recycling of food waste through chart wells. To talk about the photovoltaics, those are known as also as solar panels. It's a 105 kW system, which is, it's a lot of juice. It's a lot of power. It's located on the roof of the Learning Resource Center. If anybody wants to see what it looks like, if you venture up to the 6th floor of the parking garage and look over the roof of the round building, the library building's right adjacent to this building up here, you'll see the whole array displayed, and it's a really good vantage point. Actually, we just completed it in 2009. Didn't bring it online until July of this year. But there's 540 solar panels up there. Each of them produces 195 watts each. And this 540, they're all manufactured by Evergreen Solar here in the Commonwealth, which is one of the reasons why we went with them. We're trying to keep part of that sustainable mindset is to keep our local folks employed. So it's the largest installation on any college campus here in Massachusetts, at least at this point. It's the largest in Worcester. It's the second largest in Worcester County, and it's in the top 20s in the Commonwealth. And top 20 being private industry, municipalities, colleges, that kind of thing. So there's actually a real-time output of what the system's producing, so it actually displays on the community webpage. When you sign into your internet accounts here on campus, the blue screen will come up. That's the community page. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, there's a tab that says Campus Greening. If you click on that tab, a real-time screen will come up. You know, it'll actually show you what the solar panels are outputting at real time. Well, I think it's updated every 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. You can also see the history of it. It'll tell you what it's done for the day, all the different times of the day. You can actually see the peak of when the sun's the highest. You can also look at the monthly, yearly, weekly type numbers that it produces. So that's a picture of them there. I don't know how well you can see them, but they're all at an angle. They're all at a 25-degree tilt. They're all set on this docking system. They're all interconnected, and then it feeds down to the main power room and basically takes DC power and converts it to AC power that the building can use. Sustainable projects, energy efficiency. Like I alluded to earlier, we're doing individual building audits and modeling on every single building here on campus. We received a $30,000 grant from the Department of Energy Resources here in Massachusetts to kind of kick this project off. And what we're looking to do is identify cost measures for each individual building, and our goal is to implement the most cost-effective measures first, and also ones that fit our budget relatively well. But the whole purpose of doing this will be to identify future opportunities as budget becomes available and other additional measures can be funded. This is kind of a little gimmicky thing that I just kind of latch on to this kind of stuff. I love the little things that seem to make sense. But it's a Big Belly, that's the manufacturer, or the brand name, and it's a solar-powered trash compactor. And you're going to see these units outside. There's going to be one that'll be put outside the door of the Student Center here. There's already one up on the plaza of the newly renovated administration building. And what it does is it saves fuel and labor. So as this trash compactor gets full, it automatically senses it and then crushes it down. And as we expand, it'll have more of an impact on the vehicle traffic, our own facility vehicle traffic that you see around here. They won't have to empty them as much, so we'll be able to save fuel and also some labor because they won't have to be emptied as much. And it also promotes outside recycling. So this little unit here with the little flip-down lid is where you pull it down, you put trash in. That's also good because it keeps all the little squirrels out. I don't know if anybody's had the opportunity to go and pick something in a basket around here and 10 little critters jump out at you. And you'll see, ours doesn't have 3 units, it only has 2. And you'll see like the paper slot and the bottles and cans slot all on one unit. And I think what you'll see is the recycle will be on this side and the actual compact will be on that side. This is also a step in an effort to promote outside recycling. We tend to do an okay job inside the buildings, but outside, that's the next step that we're looking to pursue. Also, if you want a good view of a solar panel, what a solar panel looks like up close and personal, look at the top of the thing, because right on the top of it is a solar panel. And I figured that was another good educational tool to promote the stuff that we had up on the buildings. We're involved with a program with a large automobile manufacturer, and I'm going to have to be a little vague on this because right now it's not for public information, but I can talk about the technology. But hybrid vehicles, big on battery usage, batteries aren't the greatest, they're heavy, they're lunky, they rely on the vehicle itself to charge. We're going to be looking and working with the manufacturer on the plug-in hybrid technology. So within an hour or two, you can pull up to a lot of, and you'll see this expand, I think, as time goes on. You can pull up to a store, and while you're in there, if you're going to be in somewhere for an hour shopping, you'll be able to plug your car in. They're using that in conjunction with the newer battery technology. Lithium-ion batteries seem to be one of the up-and-coming things. But anyway, college is going to get 3 vehicles in which we'll plug in, recharge, and using that new battery technology. We're going to work with the manufacturer, and most of them are going to have wireless computer capabilities in them. So they'll be able to offload information between us and the manufacturer. And we're actually going to run these vehicles for 3 years and put them through the test of this area. Boston, as you head out that way, trips tend to be smaller with cars, higher traffic. So what they're trying to do is get a cross-section of use in different environments. The other good thing is that these batteries will be subjected to the heat and the cold of New England. So again, there are other Massachusetts state colleges involved in this program as well. Another cool thing is it's going to have flex fuel capabilities, which means that the batteries are intended for the local commuting and getting around, within 50 miles. And then they'll also have the ability to burn regular gasoline or some of the ethanol products or mixes or blends that are out there now. And you should see these vehicles on campus somewhere around this time next year. And they're going to be, we're not talking little small Priuses either and stuff. We're looking at actual pickup trucks and van technology as well. Sustainable projects is design and construction. All new building and major renovations must conform to the Mass LEED Plus design criteria. When I was talking about Executive Order 484 in the beginning, part of that state mandate says that any new buildings that you build on campus or any large renovations need to comply with Massachusetts Energy Code and be 20% better than that, need to exceed that by 20%, which based on that design criteria and construction criteria, that automatically puts us into kind of a nationally recognized thing, which is the U.S. Green Building Council LEED Silver certification. And that's what the admin building is going to be over there. We're in the process, or USGBC is in the process now of reviewing all the data that was submitted during the construction process over there. And we should hear, hopefully by the end of the year. Sometimes they take a little bit longer. Everybody familiar with LEED? It's Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. That's what the actual full-letter acronym stands for. And if you have an opportunity to visit that building over there, you'll see a lot of improvements. All the windows have certain insulating factors. There's all low-flow urinals, toilets throughout the building. You'll also see a lot of improvements in lighting. You shouldn't find an incandescent bulb in there. It's all new lighting, motion sensors in offices. There's not really a whole bunch of classrooms, so you won't see that. Dowden Hall expansion. If anybody hasn't noticed, anybody live here on campus? Yeah. Well, Dowden Hall, which is the residence hall tucked furthest in the back over there, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, a whole bunch of construction activity. And what we're doing is we're adding another 170 beds to increase the capability of housing on-campus student population. So we're actually shooting for a LEED Gold certification. So the way the USGBC works it is based on how many different things you implement, it qualifies for more credits. So silver, it's just kind of like the Olympics for the most part, other than Olympics don't offer a platinum. But it's LEED, it is a LEED certified building, which is just kind of green building. Then there's LEED Silver, LEED Gold, LEED Platinum. We're looking at doing ourselves one better than the admin building with the Dowden Hall expansion. And there's going to be some even bigger technology in there, like a cogeneration unit. They're all high efficiency boilers that have been installed in there, low low air pollution emitting. Everything burns natural gas. There's no oil burnt up there. That'll also incorporate the use of energy efficient lighting, low flush bathroom fixtures, high efficiency shower heads, and it's expected to be completed for the fall of next year. And they're actually about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of schedule right now. Also, along the lines of water conservation, we do have all these other existing buildings here on campus. We actually received another $30,000 from the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, and over the summer, we've installed over 80 water saving toilets, urinals. You'll see them, namely in this building, which tends to be a very high traffic, high use building. We didn't have enough to do the whole campus, so we tried to pick some of the high traffic spots so we will get the best bounce for our buck. And so between here and the library building, you'll see a whole bunch of new fixtures in the bathrooms. We've installed over 300 low-flow shower heads in our residence halls. And actually, a project that Rich and I have worked on in the past, the low-flow spray valves in Chartwells, and we figured that's coming up with almost 166,000 gallons of water saved a year. Between that and actually some other additional stuff that Rich is doing. Waste recycling, a lot of the waste food that Chartwells generates through waste from food preparation. In other words, all the tops of the celery stalks that nobody wants to eat and those kinds of things, as well as food waste off plates. We're collecting them and we're sending them off to a local pig farmer. So he's actually using that waste material as feedstock for his pigs, and it actually keeps it out of our trash waste stream. Single stream program is going well, and I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with that, but let's see one in here. Excuse me, but a lot of places you'll go on campus, we have one recycling unit and one trash unit. That's it. So the trash goes in the trash, which are things like food waste, styrofoam cups, Fritos bags, Three Musketeers wrappers. Those kinds of things are considered trash. Those aren't really recyclable. Anything that's paper, plastic, glass, aluminum, metal, all that kinds of stuff can all go into one container to be recycled. And that's why that big belly was set up with only that one side recycling unit. Also, one thing I just want to point out, and we have an opportunity, Apple Computer has been sponsoring this collection, a waste collection, and they've actually been handling it or sponsoring it for the city of Worcester too, and we did one here earlier in the spring, but we're going to do that again. And pretty much it's going to be a free electronics waste collection for the entire campus community, in which everybody can bring in your old computers, your old telephones, your old monitors, your old printers, your old TVs, your old vacuum cleaner, your old toaster oven, things like that. We can't take refrigerators, air conditioners, washing machines, dryers, those kinds of things. But we're looking to set it up in the parking garage over there. We'll probably have kind of a drive-through. So you come in the entrance, you can drive down, have boxes set up. It worked out really well last year on a smaller scale. We hope we can facilitate the same thing for this year. And it should be, I'm hoping, certainly by mid-October. So.
By mid-October, great.
That's my contact information. And does anybody have any questions? Great. Thanks for listening to me.